Hi everyone, so welcome to Simple Values. So today I want to talk about BigCommerce because it's about to IPO on the stock market, and if you don't know what BigCommerce does, just think Shopify. Think about a platform that allows you to build your own online business. As you can see, one platform to run your online business, and you can go through a BigCommerce site and you'll realize it's very similar to Shopify, except Shopify is worth a ton more. It's at $1,083, giving a valuation of $122 billion, whereas BigCommerce is about to come onto the market at around about a $1.6 billion valuation. So originally there was an article here that said they were going to do $18 to $20 per share, but since they drew a bit of comparison from Shopify, their valuation's been raised to $21 to $23. That hasn't been quite set yet. Though it depends, because you're looking at BigCommerce, and their current revenues from 2018 was 91 million and 2019 was 112 million. So it's about a 23% jump in terms of growth, and the recent quarter ending in March the 31st was about 32% in growth. Whereas if we look at Shopify and we compare the recent quarter was about a jump of a 97% compared to 32%. So when it comes to Shopify, their growth is significantly higher and their revenues are about 10 times more. So when we compare these companies, Shopify is definitely worth more because of its growth and much higher revenues. If we look at BigCommerce, they were founded in 2009. Shopify was founded in 2004, has about over 5,000 employees, whereas BigCommerce has about over 600 employees, and that also gives you a bit of an idea of the size of the companies. BigCommerce is about 1/10 the size of Shopify, though it's not worth 1/10 of Shopify because the growth is significantly lower at about 32% compared to 97%, and when you compound that growth rate, it is significantly different over the long run. So if we look at the revenues of BigCommerce, we can see last year they lost 40 million, that's up from 37 million, but if we look at the recent quarter, the loss was 7.4 million compared to 10.3 million. So as revenues have increased, their losses have dropped, so that's quite a good sign going forward. You always hope a company will be able to sustain itself going forward. The one thing that's really good on BigCommerce is they have pretty good margins. They have around 80% margins, whereas Shopify has about 50% margins. So there you can kind of, out of all things, BigCommerce wins just by having better margins, though Shopify wins because it's incredibly faster when it comes to that growth. Shopify did have a few years head start, about 5 years head start, but it's showing that it's a better platform, though this isn't something that there's always room for at least 2 platforms or more. So I wouldn't say because of Shopify succeeding that BigCommerce can't succeed. So if we look at BigCommerce, they do have big brands like Skullcandy, Ben & Jerry's, and you can just scroll through the website and you'd be fairly impressed of what they've done as well. It's just Shopify has done it a little bit better, though when you're looking at BigCommerce and you're thinking, okay, this company is going to be coming on at around about a 1.6 billion valuation, that it doesn't seem too bad. So when we're considering this and we're thinking, okay, is this a company we want to invest in at 1.6 billion? I think it's worth investing in. I think minimum you should see probably a 4 to 5 billion valuation. I don't see it as being worth 1/10 of Shopify. 1/10 of Shopify would be 12.2 billion. But I could see it being worth 5 to 6 billion, which would be significantly higher than the current 1.6 billion. So that kind of has an opportunity, and in this current environment, they also have that chance to gain more customers because everyone's looking to go online, go a bit more contactless. And BigCommerce, Shopify, all those shopping platforms that are online, it's a great chance for them to succeed. And as we can kind of see, like in the recent history of Shopify, their revenues were growing 72% in 2017. In 2018, it was 59% from the prior year, and in 2019, it was 47% from the prior year. So as you can see, it was kind of declining, but the recent quarter from Shopify was incredible, going from 361 million to 714 million. So that's about 91%, 97%, just a little bit shy of 100%, which is very incredible. So that's why the share price has just skyrocketed. Now, if we take it back a year ago it was about 358, where, it kind of seemed very high at that time, though they've managed to justify the valuation by the incredible growth that they've brought in terms of Shopify. And BigCommerce is kind of showing that too. Here they're growing about 23%, here they're growing 32%, so it's a bit more higher than the prior years. Though when we compare the growth rates, Shopify and BigCommerce is quite a bit slow when it comes to the growth, though still pretty decent. Like if we think about that this company should be a profitable company in the next couple of years, and whereas Shopify, we're looking at a company that's just made profitability on $1.1 billion of revenue over 6 months, whereas they were losing 52 million the prior year. But you can clearly see they've spent the money on growth rather than thinking about profits, whereas BigCommerce has more or less been thinking about the profitable side of things. They've reduced the expense side of things, hence why I think this company will be quite profitable in the next couple of years, and it definitely should justify the price tag of 1.6 billion, though it depends on whether they settle on $21 to $23, but it's around about 1.6 billion. So definitely let me know what your thoughts are. Is this an IPO that interests you? Or if you have any questions, just let me know. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.